when it affects you getting promotion, when it affects you working, when it affects you where you can buy a house, where you can allow your kids better education. Those are the types of things that happen in England.
What has been the experience of racism in the United States versus the racism in a place like Britain?
I think the difference is in England is subtle. It would never really, I mean, the old school England would be like verbal, you know, and to some degree, you know, okay, they don't like us over there, we're not going over there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that's easy to kind of maneuver around. But when it's institutional, when it affects you getting promotion, when it affects you working, when it affects you where you can buy a house, where you can allow your kids better education, those are the types of things that happen in England. The subtle racism is very, very minute. And if you blink, you might not catch it, but we understand what just happened there. You know, it's very clever. It's not, it's a sniping. It's not a hood shooting.
Do you think the goal is of the same of the white Americans here and the Europeans, where it's kind of like protecting, fear, don't want you in our community because of, you know?
I think some of it, though, some of it, not all of it, I think some of it is just a rhythm that they have. And, you know, I have this joke that I do on stage where white people don't move out your way when they walk on stage. They just don't. And I know black people have played this game of I'm not moving first. and just think about what you have to go to say to yourself, I'm not moving first.
Because subconsciously we move.
We always move. We always move. So it's the level of confidence. Like it's not always about just fear. It's like, it's just a rhythm that they have of nothing else exists.
Well, I remember
out of what I'm doing.
And I want to say at one time, due to colonialism, there was a rule, I think maybe in India, that you couldn't walk on the same sidewalk as a European at that time. And I'll make sure I'll fact check that as we go. But how did we reverse that? Because like from your perspective, because you have multiple perspectives, how do you think we reverse some of what racism has done to us here in America?
I think sometimes you've just got to re-educate and you got to unlearn things. And sometimes it sounds harsh, but I used to do radio, and one of the rules in radio is we didn't care what anybody listened to outside of 25. Outside of 25, they don't buy music, they don't go to concerts as much as the kids do, you know? It's the kids that drive the culture. So for me, it's about the next generation and what you feed into them. Because we have already got our ignorance, we've already got, you know, we're a fully formed tree. We're grown, we're fully grown. It's gonna be very hard to change the mentality of 30 plus. But the kids who are 8, 9, 10, it's about what we feed in them. Because it's about what the world looks like for them as adults, not what it currently looks like for us. And I've always said that if in our culture, I feel like black people want to start a revolution and see it. And that for me isn't going to happen. And if that's our motto, then we're always going to be in this same space that we're currently in. We've got to put everything into our kids and the young people so that they get to see the revolution. Because that's what this is about. People that came before us put us a little step forward towards that. And I feel like for us to address those kind of racism situations and the feelings of, you know, we can't walk that side and all of that, we've got to put it into the youth. The youth are the next leaders, the decision makers. Let's give them everything we have. You know, I heard David Banner once say, we always raise our kids sometimes to be like, no, you got to do what I had to do. And it's like, what's the point? They'd only end up where you ended up.
Right.
But if we give them everything now, they start from above us. Their worst is above us. And I'm of that mentality of youth. Empower them. They're the ones that are going to make this better.